She's just about ready. Okay. What do you say there, talent? Is the talent ready? Good evening, and welcome to Season 6, Episode 6 of Robin's Piano Bar, where the drinks and the food are virtual, but the piano playing is real. I'm your host, Larry Kosson, streaming live to you on YouTube, Twitch TV, LinkedIn, and Bandcamp. Any spring in your step there, Facebook? Tonight's episode is Hello, Spring. And now, please welcome to her own home, our favorite piano gal, Robin Spielberg.
Hello, everyone.
Where'd you go?
I forgot about this.
Got to turn your pedal on?
I forgot to, I have like these gadgets all around the house, all over the studio. A lot of things to like plug in, mute, mostly mute. That's where I mostly forget.
Well, hello, spring. Hello, spring.
Happy spring. I thought it would never come, guys. Wow. No, I know a lot of you still have the snow. Yep. Still going on. And that we can't really plant things in the ground here where I live until Mother's Day. That's the safe date for my Garden Zone 6B. People get really excited when they get that first 70-degree day, and they go and buy things at the plant nursery. Plant nursery, they kind of like that. People do that and they don't give you any warning. People just go out and plant things and they die. And then they have to come back in May and buy more things. So I'm being really good. I'm not doing any of that. I have seedlings growing downstairs under grow lights. And they're my little babies. They're doing okay. So welcome spring. Larry, I'm so happy to see you. It feels like I haven't seen you the whole week. We've been in the same house in our separate corners, working like busy bees. Just so many projects, so many things going on. And so I'm just glad to sit on this piano bench and share some music with all of you that welcome spring. And this first one is the title track from the Broadway show, Camelot. Camelot. I played a very kind of pensive version of that.
So we really know it's spring here when we can shut the heat off, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Can't quite do that yet. It's still a little too chilly.
Yeah, we had to turn it on the other day, but I did get rid of that big, if you noticed, Larry, but the big, heavy, like down blanket. That's no longer
Yeah, I did notice.
in our bedroom. And soon we'll have like the window open crack. Little by little, bit by bit.
The real test is when I can actually get out early in the morning to ride my bike.
I know that's what you dream of.
I know, Patricia, I know you walk on the rail trail. I haven't been even on the rail. Actually, it's not true. I had one day 2 weeks ago where I was on the rail trail for about an hour on my bike. But
I had the one day in the garden doing some spring cleanup and cleaning out pots and cleaning tools, things of that nature. So, what are you looking forward to most of all about spring? Let us know in your comments. When spring comes, what is it you do? Do you get that bug like I do? Like I really want to do the spring cleaning. I did sweep out the garage, Larry. I'm not sure you noticed. I swept out the garage. On the list, windows. Definitely has to happen. I don't do them all at once. I just get
I have
worn
been
out.
chained to my desk, as you know. It's been
You have been chained to your desk, but I have all these like
busy.
these projects, these things I want to get done for spring. You know, you just start cleaning out. And I did go by Goodwill today. I dropped off some items from Val's old room, and it was really busy. Like the entire parking lot was filled with cars of people donating things. And I went, wow, people are doing their spring cleaning. I better get more to it. But we dropped off a few things. Always feels good to do that, lighten the house a little bit. So, next one. A few weeks ago, I was at teaching at Millersville University, where I teach once a week. And right before that midterm, there was a gorgeous rainbow. So we get to see more and more rainbows now that spring is here. So I hope you get to see some this season. Here's Over the Rainbow.
Robin Rick Young says as it gets warmer, he and Dottie go camping. And we have to say, so one of the reasons we didn't live stream last week is because we had a couple of performances that we had to attend for our other performers that we represent. But we were on an airplane, Rick, and the people behind us were actually discussing astrophotography.
They
right,
were on the airplane. I was like, oh, they're talking about what Rick Young does.
Yeah.
The entire plane ride from Boston back to BWI, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They were
In
talking
fact,
about astrophotography.
It's funny because Rick, you would have
They were
been
talking
right
about exposures and
software and all the things
yes.
that you do. So
Yes. I
you
didn't
would have
understand
jumped,
anything they were saying. But
Rick, you would have jumped right into that conversation.
that's right.
It was
That
kind
would
of
have
funny
been your
because we thought
favorite
of you.
companion seat. So
hope-
I loved. Patricia said she walked down the trail, and Donna saying a nice walk, seeing flowering trees and daffodils and all the new green. I do love that we have all the changes of seasons here. As much as sometimes deep dark winter, please go away. I just love when spring comes back. And yeah, I agree, Marty. The pink blossoms. I have a wonderful red bud tree in my backyard that I didn't plant. It planted itself. A seed came and it planted itself in the absolute most perfect spot. And it is huge now. And boy, does that do a good show. Karen saying she likes taking her dog for walks and sitting on the back patio, having a beer. Sounds awesome. Yes, you're right. Leonard's telling us in Vermont, you start to hear the birds. So I saw my first robin of spring just a couple of days ago. And then we end up, let's see. Oh, Patricia said she saw, what was it? The deer was a picture. That's pretty funny. And turkeys. Yeah, there's an area of the trail where I see this turkey. What's his name again, Larry?
I don't
Someone
remember
named
it.
that turkey. Henry.
Henry?
Yeah.
I don't know whether that...
Henry the turkey likes to block the trail on that south side going toward Maryland, and he doesn't want anyone to cross. He kind of gets very possessive of the trail. You kind of have to walk around him when you get to that part of the trail. It's pretty funny. So very, very sweet. Always things to look forward to. Is Fran on the live stream tonight?
I haven't seen her
She
yet.
just had a big birthday, so happy birthday to Fran, 85. Happy birthday to Rick Davis. Not sure if he's watching. My brother-in-law's his birthday.
Shout out to Morris and Kitty. They're watching from Texas.
Oh,
on
I
YouTube.
see. Okay, here on YouTube.
So
Yep.
hello to
And Debbie Sherman
two
is
of you.
here. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining wherever you are streaming
Linda
in.
Warner just joined. Linda, I don't know if we've seen you in a few weeks, but welcome back.
Yes, good to have you here. So I'm going to play this one. I know this was a favorite of Fran's. Something came up on the Book of Faces, Facebook. One of the things I do like about the platform is getting the reminders, the anniversaries of things that you might have posted 10, 15 years ago. And gosh, I've been on Facebook, I guess, since 2009. So this popped up.
I'm so glad that you can name something that you like about Facebook.
I can.
I can't.
Well, that's not. Well, we have this. We have
We
this
do.
community. So let's
We
not
do.
be so negative here, Larry.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's positive things. I get to see people's babies and flowers, and I try to filter out all the negative junk as much as I can. It's just this platform. Use it to the best of your advantage is what I say. I like keeping my garden diary on there. So when I post flower pictures, I can go year to year and see easily on Facebook what bloomed when and at what time. So much easier, actually, than keeping the physical diary that I used to keep. So that really is helpful. Anyway, my Facebook memory that came up was that it was 15 years ago that we were in the studio recording Sea to Shining Sea, a tapestry of American music. And our daughter, Val, was on that recording because she's the one who said, Mom, I can play the marimba and be the tick-tock on my grandfather's clock. And that was the beginning, really, of her little musical adventures. There were many more to come following that. But it was a very special time for me as a mom to be in the recording studio, recording with my daughter. Very, very sweet. And we recorded this one. We recorded You Are My Sunshine. So here it is. Very sweet tune. And so last time we live streamed, people liked that I put in more originals. So we're going to start incorporating that. And this live stream also has a number of my own compositions. I'm going to do two in a row that are spring inspired. So the first one is from A New Kind of Love, and it's entitled I Remember Spring. And the second one is Cherry Blossom, because very, very soon we're going to have those. They might already starting to be budding in Washington, D.C. And man, those are just absolutely incredible. Just so
It was
gorgeous.
incredibly windy last night, and I wonder how that affected.
I think
the
it's
cherry
okay.
blossoms
Yeah,
and the
I
buds.
think it's okay. I think when you get a night like that, when the blossoms are in full, then we might lose the blossoms faster. But I think they're okay. They're not quite open yet in DC. I think they start to open at the very end of this month, so they should be okay. cherry blossom. Good song for daydreaming. I kind of was doing that while I was playing, which is good. So, I see people have magnolia trees blooming. Sounds awesome. I love those. They're so beautiful. Very special trees. So if you're not into, gardening or it intimidates you, there's something you can try, which I do every year. I kind of collect when I go to the grocery store. If they sell anything that's in like a clear plastic with a lift up lid, sometimes they sell grapes that way, or blueberries or raspberries. I don't recycle them. I don't throw them out. I rinse them out. I put some, with the little scissors, I just kind of stab some holes on the bottom, fill it with seed starter potting mix, and plant seeds. Use a spray bottle to water it because you don't want to rot the seeds out. So just use a spray bottle and then close the lid. You've got a free greenhouse. You can put that on a sunny windowsill or under grow lights. You'd be amazed of what you can actually grow. I've got several of those things downstairs in my little, make-believe greenhouse.
Robin, just a quick shout out. You may have missed it. I think it's yesterday or today is David Warner's birthday. So happy birthday, David.
Gosh, all these March birthdays. Happy birthday to you, David. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. Rick, Fran, David. A lot of March birthdays. It's easier for me to remember my brother-in-law's birthday because it's on spring.
Or near spring.
Yeah.
Because today was not the first day of spring. Yesterday.
Right, I know. Well, often it's the 21st. Sometimes it's the 20th. Sometimes it's the 21st.
They do that to confuse you.
They did. I actually wished him a happy birthday yesterday, so we got 2 happy birthdays. So, a lot of people have posted what they love about spring so much is the colors. So here is the old tune from Chicago, the band Chicago, Color My World. love those comments. I see that, wait, Peter said it was his prom song? Color My World? Larry, I just lost my comments.
No, the song was sung at Lorraine's wedding by a close friend, but then 51 years ago, and Peter said 51 years ago was the year of his prom. So.
Oh, I see. Oh, gosh, people really have. Oh no, Peter said "Color My World" was my senior prom theme. I'm telling you, it's really amazing to me how much music is so much a part of our memories. We hear the right song at the right time, and it just lifts us up. Or sometimes you hear the wrong song at the wrong time, and it bums you out, right? That's happened to me also. Yeah, "Color My World's a very beautiful song.
Speaking of music and memories.
Yes.
I'm not sure if we announced this last week or not, or the last couple of weeks, but Robin is going to be performing in Florida again in May.
That's right.
And
May 20th.
May 20th. And this time, it's a free performance. You have to register for tickets.
Right. So it's free because their sponsorship, it's a health and wellness symposium and consortium that's getting together with lots of health and wellness activities. And one of the activities is my concert. So I think there's some sponsorship there allowing people to come for free. But yes, you do have to go and reserve your seat.
So it's the Straz Performing Arts Center in Tampa,
STRAZ.
Right. And Robin, do you have the link on your website?
I do. RobinSpielberg.com, my brand new website that launched just last week, or 2 weeks ago. Sorry.
So
has all the info.
Anybody in Florida that wants to come and see us on May 20th, we'll be
I also
there.
posted dates for Wisconsin. That's happening in a year, 2026.
And the birthday girl finally arrived. Fran is here.
Fran!
Happy birthday, Fran.
Happy birthday. I played something for you. You're going to have to go on the replay. I played "You Are My Sunshine." Dedicated to you. So hope you had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Congratulations on your milestone birthday. We are doing, if you're just joining us now, like Fran, we are welcoming spring with songs of color and spring-like themes. And this one is from the musical South Pacific, and it's called "Younger Than Springtime." You Are So Beautiful. So, a funny little thing going on about that. I recorded that many years ago, 25 years ago, actually, for my album, Beautiful Dreamer, Lullabies for the Parent and Child. I saw some people in the chat. I haven't caught up quite yet. Can't always read as I'm playing. But people were talking about streaming and how terrible the payouts are. And it really is pretty terrible. When you stream my music, I love when you do. I love when you're sharing it and listening. But it's something like it's a quarter of a penny per stream.
Micro pennies.
Your micro pennies. That being said, my listenership on Spotify recently grew from 97,000 monthly listeners, which is respectable, to today 350,000 monthly listeners, which is my all-time high since Spotify started in 2009. I was trying to figure out why. Like, why all of a sudden the growth? How did people discover my music there? And while the pay, of course, is terrible, it's lovely to have that much engagement and to find new fans and have people discover your music. And I did a little investigating, and I saw that You Are So Beautiful was added a couple of months ago to a very popular Spotify playlist. It's not a playlist that is an editorial playlist, nothing that Spotify added, but a user created a playlist called, I think it's called Baby Go to Sleep or Sleep Baby. I'm not sure. It's a lullaby playlist. And people have discovered my music by hearing You Are So Beautiful on that playlist. So you never know. It took 25 years.
So, that leads me to the pitch of me putting up the tip jar for the live stream because unlike the streaming, which we love when you listen on the streaming services, this live stream is entirely supported by you, our viewership.
Yep.
And the money goes directly back to pay for the tuning of the piano, the high-speed internet, which we now hopefully allows us to have a
and the streaming
clean,
service we actually use
to go to multiple platforms.
Right, to aggregate to multiple platforms. They charge you a hefty fee for that.
So your support helps keep this thing going, and we're going to go as long
as you support it and want me to do it.
And you say that you're going to show up. So we're so happy to see all of our regulars here tonight. It's actually really nice. Before the live stream, Robin said, I'm not sure anybody's going to show up. I said, Larry, maybe we're just doing it for the two of us because I really didn't, advertise or send out an email. We'll see who shows up. I do post on my website on the concert page. There's all the concerts listed, and then below it says next live stream. So I do post there when the next live stream is. Larry, do we know when the next one is? I think it's April 11. Let's see.
I think it is. David Nutter says on YouTube, I would love to hear about the history of your piano. Well, you got it, because my piano is one of my favorite things to talk about. This piano has been in the house now for 5 years, but it's not a new piano. It's a very old piano. It's an 1896 Steinway A2, built in 1896. I am only the second owner, which is phenomenal. And as you might expect, it needed a big renovation. The case is all original. This is all original Victorian A2 piano. But of course, it was refinished and sanded down. And the harp was replaced. New strings, new pins. All of that being said, it was restored to its original specs. So in 1896, they were using nickel for the pedals and the inside here, the pins. And so it's all nickel original specs. So
to your point, I just checked the calendar. I think April 4th is when we were saying the first weekend in April was.
Okay, so April 4, you will see us back here. And I'll make sure that I post that so everyone knows. Thanks, everyone, for your comments. I love talking to you in this way. And if I didn't get to your comment, I'll make sure that I read them. Oh, lots of happy birthdays for David and Franz. I love seeing that. And fantastic. So what's next? Oh, yes. I am playing now 2 originals. As promised, I'm adding some more of those in. And this one is called The Orange Fox Waits. It's not exactly about a fox. If you know the history of the song, have heard me play it before. We had a cat that we named Fox because he kind of looked like an orange fox. And when I went away on tour, Larry was home with our daughter. He would tell me that the cats missed me a lot and they were waiting for me. And then when he went on business trips, music booking conferences and the like and meetings, I told him that the cats missed him. And he said, "You're lying. They don't care about me. They don't care about you." I go, "It's not true. Our orange fox cat sits on your side of the bed. He's like waiting for you." And wouldn't you know, I recorded this song. I was in the studio in New Hampshire recording this song when that cat passed away. He waited until he knew his legacy, right? Was intact. Larry especially was very attached to that cat, so that was a very, very sad day. But his memory lives on through the song. I'm sure he's on to his next kitty cat life somewhere. This is The Orange Fox Waits, and next we'll have Dawn at Walden Place. Well, that was a little tricky because you might have heard it. I've got to have a pin slip. On this note, yeah, and Change of Season has a lot of that note. And so I realized I couldn't punch that note, so I kind of skipped over it and brought it down an octave. And those things sometimes happen, like during a concert. Something happens with the piano. There's over 14,000 parts.
Because it's a living, breathing
It's
thing.
Larry's making fun of me because I say, why? Because it's a living, breathing thing. Affected by weather, all kinds of things, and over 14,000 parts. So it's not that unusual for something. It was just tuned today. So something happened. Pin slipped. So that unison is off. And so you have to think quickly, because if that were to happen in a concert, you can't stop the show. You got to bring everything down an octave, figure it out, not punch that note. So I was giving my pinky a break, and instead of going, I was doing that instead.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. I'm sure that if I were at an MRI machine, my brain would have been completely lit up because it was thinking really hard.
I saw
During
you
a piece I normally never have to think about.
I saw you thinking really hard.
What?
I saw you thinking really hard.
You saw me thinking really hard?
Yeah,
I was
did.
trying not to show that.
Yeah, it was
But
actually...
you can tell because
I
you're
can
my
tell.
husband.
Yeah,
So you kind of know.
I know.
He could tell by all of the micro expressions, right?
That's right.
Know each other really well, so we could tell by the little micro expressions. He knows I get off stage and he says, "What's the matter? What happened?" I'm like, C sharp. It just didn't work for me. All right. Piano problems. What can I say? Pianist problems. So here we are, 10 o'clock hour. Got a few more to share with you. And spring makes people, what does it make people do? It makes them fall in love, doesn't it?
It's what
Don't a lot of people start to go on dates and,
It's the birds and the bees
it's
and the
birds
rabbits.
and the bees that has an influence. And what about that red moon we had? I mean, all those things.
It's the reason that the egg is so connected with Easter, right?
Right, rebirth.
It's all about spring.
All about spring. Speaking of which, guess who's back, Larry?
The doves are back.
The doves are back.
doves
Gladys
I
and
did see them.
Steve.
I saw them. Remember I showed you they were sitting outside my window together.
Yeah, so Gladys and Steve are married doves, morning doves. And they come to our house every year to nest. And I wait for them to come. And last year, they built a nest right above our front door. But Larry, I don't know if you know this or not, a different bird came and built a nest above our front door. So I don't know where Gladys and Steve are going to go. I don't know where they're going to build their nest or what's going to happen.
Not those starlings. I just hope they're not.
As long as it's not the starlings, please.
Yeah.
The starlings attack the robins. And
It just
eat the
it
robin.
bothers me when
It bothers me.
Yeah.
I know it's nature. I still don't like that they do that.
But if you remember last Saturday night, as we were walking back to our hotel, we saw two rabbits. Right?
Yeah, we saw the bunnies.
They were having a good time. It was Saturday night, for them too.
They were on a date. They were on a hot date, those bunny rabbits.
It was spring.
Tis the season.
Yeah.
So for all the bunnies and the lovers out there, this is for you. This is Hello, Young Lovers. So it seems it can't be the same, Gladys and Steve. You've been corrected. Mourning doves do not have very long lives and cannot come back year to year. But you know what? I'd like to believe that it's the same couple. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Or they could be different doves, but I'm still going to call them Gladys and Steve. How's that? We're just, whenever the doves come, they're Gladys and Steve. I'm really sad that it's not the same couple. Aren't you, Larry?
Yeah, I'm ambivalent,
You're not as attached.
No.
Yeah.
No, but it works for our cats,
It works because I love watching them.
Sasha especially. Now, all of you who watch us
She's
regularly.
like, those birds are my friend.
You all know Sasha because Sasha is our sign-off cat.
That's
she
right.
says goodnight every live stream. Sasha is truly a talking cat. She
talks so much.
And she talks to the birds. She
talks
chirps
to me. At them. She goes,
yeah. She actually talks to me while I'm trying to work out.
She sits on the other yoga mat and
Yeah.
She's like your coach, Larry. She's encouraging you.
I know.
She's like, hold that plank.
She's great. She's really attached.
Didn't
to
she
me.
go on your back when you were doing a plank once?
She's
like one of those baby goats you see in goat yoga.
A couple times she jumps on my back.
I'd like a picture of that. That's pretty funny.
But she loves the birds. She loves, and over the years we've had a bunch of cats who love sitting in the window and watching the doves and the robins and the
Growing
cardinals.
up, I always had cats that went inside and out, but we just can't do that here because there are too many wild beings that want to snatch them up, so they have to stay inside.
So that's the other funny thing we can say. Sasha, during the wintertime when there are no birds outside,
we put on movies for her.
Sasha
nature videos.
has actually come to understand that she can ask me a certain way to watch her
She
movies.
watches a movie. And then she also could say, I don't want that one, I want the other one. I want the mouse one.
If I'm sitting at my computer and typing, she will bite the back of my hand. She'll nip at the back of my hand saying,
Put on my movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she likes to have her matinee. She's not been asking me for a matinee lately because she likes to look out the window.
But it's bookmarked.
Oh, gosh. What would we do without our furry babies? She thinks it's a wonderful world. So do I. And you know what? You guys make the world more wonderful by being here and letting us into your homes, allowing us to share our thoughts with you and music with you. Really enjoy doing this for all of you. Love the community that we've built. I mentioned it in a different live stream that we just loved being on the road in New England doing concerts and seeing so many of you come to the live shows and meet one another for the first time. People who have been watching the live streams for the last few years, meeting up at shows. Absolutely love that. So
Fran just wrote that she's having trouble typing tonight, but she has to go back and rewatch the dedication. But she says, thank you so much, Ron, R-O-N, in capital letters. So, Ron, you're doing a great job tonight. Fran, thanks for giving me a new nickname for my wife. I'm going to be calling her Ron.
You call me Ron. You can call me Rob.
I'm going to call her.
Calls me Rob, Robbie.
I'm going to call
Robin.
her. Now she's Ron for the entire weekend.
I remember my mom, when you have two kids, and she would mix up our names. My sister's name is Eileen. She used to call her Raleen because she was about to say Robin, and then she corrected herself. She goes, Rylene. Yeah, that was kind of a funny thing. Here we go. This is What a Wonderful World. Remember when Rita Coolidge made that famous? We're all alone. Yep, just a couple more tunes to share with you. Again, thanks everyone for joining. Glad you're here. We'll be back on April 4th with another Piano Bar live stream. This is Season 6, Episode 6, live stream number 263.
Route 66.
263, that's a lot of live streams there.
We get our kicks on Route 66, don't we, Rob?
Yes, we've been on
Don't
Route
we, Ron?
66.
Fran,
Actually, I think her son, Ron, wrote that. Honey.
Oh, it could be. You know what, Fran? We're so happy that you're here celebrating your birthday with us. 85 is such a big, big milestone. So happiest of birthdays.
But you don't get to say you're old yet.
No.
I think you're allowed to say you're old when you're 90.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's the rule. I just made it up.
You just made it up. Yeah.
People say, oh, I can't do that. I'm too old. I'm like, no, you don't get to say that till you're 90. You can do it.
We saw Fran last spring, I guess it was.
In Ohio.
In Ohio. She had a lot of spring in her step, so.
Absolutely. That's how I want to be. I want to be like Fran. Keep on moving. Right?
Yep.
All right. And so now I'm going to get to a piece of music I'm going to play. It's an original called The 2 a.m. Gardener. It's autobiographical. I don't do that anymore. No, I don't. I don't get that obsessed. But there was a time when, it would get dark and I just wouldn't stop because I was not finished with my gardening tasks, right? What care I? We can garden in the dark. You just need some flashlights.
Now that
Sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud.
Now that you're a master gardener,
Yes, we don't do that anymore. Yeah, but sometimes you do have to call me in. It's in the summer. Larry's like, can you still see out there? It seems dark. You're going to get bitten up by mosquitoes. Sometimes you just get really into what you're doing. I like to finish what I start. So, this was I composed this after a particularly obsessive time when I got locked out of the house for gardening in the middle of the night. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Why? Well, I married a sound sleeper, didn't have my keys, and I was in a nightgown. And it was 2 a.m. It wasn't good. Not a good situation. And as much as I rang that bell and knocked on that door, Larry did not hear me.
It was over 20 years ago, and we had to move.
It was over 20 years ago, but yes, we had to move after that. All of the neighbors heard me, Larry, and saw me, some of them, in my nightgown. Locked out of the house in my nightgown, like crazy, like a crazy person, holding a gardening hose. It just was embarrassing. But, okay, we'll keep that happy memory alive through this piece of music, The 2 a.m. Gardener. I can't promise I played it exactly like the sheet music, as I composed that 25 years ago and rarely play it in concert. But if you would like to play that song or any of my other originals, and some of the covers too are transcribed, you can buy the sheet music, $4 for a sheet music PDF download. You could do it right from home on your computer, send it to your e-reader like this, and then it ends up looking like this. Or you can just download it and print it, and it's pretty great. If you missed any of the live streams, we archive them on the Robin Spielberg YouTube channel. They stay live on Facebook for about 24 or 48 hours, usually. By Sunday night, we take them down, and Facebook's not storing them anymore anyway, so they would come down on their own. But you could find them on YouTube. YouTube.com/Robin Spielberg. You'll see a subscribe button. Click that. That way you'll know when I go live or when I have a new music video to share with you. And you can click on a tab called Playlists, and there you will see many of the seasons archived. And pick whatever you missed or whatever looks appealing to you. And you can always leave comments for me there too. I do check those on occasion and reply back. And down to the last song. Who remembers Tiny Tim? Tiny Tim was not that tiny. He was a really tall guy. Why do they call him Tiny Tim? Because he had a tiny ukulele? Do you know that?
I don't know.
Right.
I'm sure it's on the internet.
He was a very unusual guy.
You have to check the Googles.
And he sang this really, really old song. How old? It's an old song, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. I know it's in the public domain, so it's pretty old, over 100 years old. He brought that one back to life, and he sang with a little ukulele, and I remember being a young person and my parents watching him. I'm not sure if it was Johnny Carson, The Tonight Show, or Merv Griffin, something, and we... It was kind of shocking to see like this really, really big guy with this little tiny ukulele singing in this falsetto voice. And it kind of became a sensation. And of course, we didn't have the internet then. We didn't have YouTube. But if we did, that would have gone, as they say, viral. It would have spread around everywhere. But it did become pretty darn popular. And so now that we are almost in tulip season, we'll have them in a few weeks. They're popping up from the ground, but they're not in bloom yet. I thought I'd end this one, our spring live stream, with Tiptoe Through the Tulips with me, written by Al Durbin and Joe Burke. Yes, and if you're going to go through my garden, Larry, you better tiptoe through those tulips. Don't step on them. Everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Wishing you all the best. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to one another. And we hope to see you back with us for live stream number 264 on April 4. Okay?
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Happy new season. Make sure to change your toothbrushes. Sasha, it's a quick reminder. This is my service to all of you. Sasha, say goodnight.